MrGaleer, the kings of the ring. Dropkick the Commute, we're just getting started still. Mufussy and Galeer.
Hello and welcome to Dropkick the Commute for October 15th, 2024. Today we are talking about Wrestledream.
It was a dream.
It was a wrestle nightmare.
It was everything.
This was everything. Long-term storytelling. Fuck!
Cinema storytelling.
Cinema.
This is why this happened. A thread. This is why Daniel Bryan had to lose like this. A thread.
Who's Daniel Bryan?
Hey man, look. Did I say Daniel Bryan?
Yeah.
Look, man. I'm washed. I'm burnt out. I'm tired. And Daniel Bryan. Fuck! Bryan Danielson got killed.
He got fucking murdered.
They killed him.
I did go to SmackDown on Friday, which is very exciting. So we're going to talk about that in our episode tomorrow. I am famous now. Triple H will be promoting DTC from, now on.
Oh, he's dissolved. I thought you were dissolving the LLC.
Oh, no. I already did that on Twitter.
Oh, so what, is Triple H like picking it up?
Yeah. DTC has been purchased by WWE. We're WWE shills now.
You weren't totally clear on what your plans were with our brand.
Oh, yeah. No, I sold it.
Like as in, like, you didn't tell me before you fucking went on social media and did that.
Well, you don't need to know everything, pal. I sold our company for $1. Okay?
It's a lot of money.
It is. And you know what else is a lot of money?
The pay-per-view that we paid for.
Yes, dude. Wrestledream. I was very pleasantly happy with this pay-per-view. I thought it was very good.
Pay-per-view.
It was loaded. There was a lot of stuff.
I mean, where do we start?
Well, we did just talk about the main event. Do you wanna hop right into that?
Yeah, I say we do. Let's get the tough stuff out of the way, you know?
Yeah, we'll start off with the bad. We'll rip off the Band-Aid and, not that it was a bad match or a bad ending. I'm just saying it's depressing and I was sad. However, because of the depressing, sad ending, I did retain the DTC Intercontinental.
Was it a tie or did you win?
I did win because of this, I think. Didn't I? Or did I tie? Wait, did we tie? I think we tied.
I think we tied.
We did tie.
Not that it matters. Either way, you retain it.
We did tie, so. Anyway. Great match between Bryan Danielson and Mox. We got what we expected in ring-wise, Yeah. They're both incredible. They do their thing. And we ended with Jon Moxley making Bryan Danielson pass out.
It was like a. I've been hearing, been listening and reading and hearing a lot of different stuff, and a lot of people are comparing it to the moment Taker's streak ended. When Brock beat the streak. A lot of people are talking about like moments like that where just like the air was like sucked out of the building.
Yeah.
Like I feel like a lot of people kind of knew this was more or less going to be it, but they didn't expect it to end that way or end like that abruptly.
Right.
You kind of thought Danielson was going to put on more of a fight than he did. And this match he definitely put on a fight, but like Jon Moxley like had cheat codes on and like, he was kicking out of every single Busaiku knee and like just, and throwing Danielson around too.
Well, it's similar to, some of the previous Danielson matches that we've talked about recently where, he gets shit on for like the first half of it and then he comes back, he gets all pent up and then ends up winning the match. But against Moxley, that didn't happen. And
no, it was like fairly one-sided, even though they both like put on a good match.
And I think they kind of flipped it in the beginning though, because so Mox attacked Danielson, you know, as he came out, and Danielson was fighting back when his music continued, which I know you hate, but his music continued playing.
Oh yeah, and I want to talk about that too, but finish what you were saying.
So his music continued playing, and Danielson started fighting back, and the music stopped playing, and we got the yes chants, and that is the moment where, you know, Danielson was able to fight. And I think they flipped it this time around, where Danielson was kind of up in the beginning, but then as the match went on, instead of what we've seen, as the match went on, you know, he got fucked up and he got taken down by Mox.
Yeah. I don't know. Real quick, there's a license. There was a license plate beside me that had sixes. Just drove by me.
Oh.
And there's another one in front of me that says ribbit. So just some food for thought.
Yeah.
You know? Anyways. Yeah. Look, man, I don't know what it is, because I seem to be in the minority here. I can't stand, and this has only happened in AEW, but I can't stand when they keep the music playing while they're fighting.
Yeah.
But like, I think I understand it though, because obviously they paid a lot of money, so they want to get a lot of mileage out of the song. But also, a lot of people are saying, you know, the real heat was when Moxley didn't like give him that moment and everyone's moment to sing like the final countdown.
Right.
But I don't know. I just like can't stand it. I could barely stand it when they did it in Anarchy and Arena.
See,
they did it a few.
I really like the Anarchy one because they turned it into a bit, you know, like between them all.
Yeah, that's like, I guess, the one exception to the rule, but like, I don't know. I think my brain is so trained in wrestling to like, the second a punch is thrown, they stop the music.
Yeah.
That's
fair.
I feel like it doesn't help that they continue to play Danielson's music while he's getting pummeled.
Yeah.
But again, that's just me. I haven't really talked to a person that agrees with me, and that's fine. I don't know. I just can't get with it. But, yeah, this was what we expected, and then some. You know, Danielson passed out. That was the match. Everyone, like, fucking... The breath was sucked out of the arena, and then things only got worse. The Blackpool Combat Club adding insult to injury, and then Wheeler Yuta shows up.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, all right, Wheeler, let's fucking go.
Wheeler and Darby at the same time.
Yeah, Wheeler and... Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's actually important. And again, everyone's just kind of like, okay, Wheeler, and Mox hands him the bag, and Wheeler turns heel.
Yeah.
Finally, and I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
Darby's just kind of watching in horror, you know.
Yeah.
As like, this is all happening, and then Claudio puts a chair around Danielson's neck and just stomps on him. It was just like, this is us. We are killing Bryan Danielson. We are getting rid of him. We are sending him out of here on a stretcher.
Yeah.
And I believe you said, if we see him leave a stretcher, this isn't the end. Do you still believe that?
Yeah, he's gonna come back eventually, because remember, this is the end of his full-time career.
Yeah,
so,
I don't think in wrestling, when someone retires, I don't think that's really it. Like,
yeah.
Sting came back at All In, you know what I mean? And
right.
like, obviously he's not full-time, but you know, when someone retires, they're not fully gonna just stop wrestling.
We will eventually get a Danielson like goodbye moment. Remember, he already had his huge moment at All In, which he didn't even want, first of all.
Yeah.
But he had his huge moment. He's happy with his career. Honestly, if he got his neck surgery and they were like, hey man, you can never wrestle again, he'd probably be fine with it at this point. It's not like the first time.
Yeah.
This time, like, he's gonna be out for a while. He's gonna go get surgery. He's gonna be gone. Honestly, I'd be okay with him gone for a year. Like, keep him out for a long time to make that surprise, like, huge and massive. I think he'll come back at some point later on.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be for a match, another match against Mox or, you know, somebody.
I'd be okay with him to not, like, wrestle again, though. Like,
yeah. No, I would too, yeah.
You know, I think a lot of people were really mad just about how this ended because they wanted him to go out kind of on this high note. But I think the thing you have to remember is that there's no going out on a high note unless they did another Sting situation where they had him win and retire the belt. But
right.
Personally, I wouldn't think that's a good idea to do that twice in 1 year with different belts. So yeah, he's gonna lose, and clearly this is a very like convoluted plan to get the Blackpool Combat Club, you know, on people's radars, and like, holy shit, like these guys, like just the way everything was painted, they had everyone come out, all the baby faces came out to like try and save him, and they were just all looking on in disappointment. Excalibur is like crying at the commentary table, like,
yeah,
this is them letting us know that like we are under like a dictatorship right now.
Yeah, and this is the
invasion angle.
Yeah, and we have some like real heels in this fucking company now.
Yeah.
Like, you are supposed to hate them, you're supposed to hate their actions that they're doing, and you're supposed to be unhappy. That's the point. The main thing that I saw is, you know, people are so mad with the ending, it didn't end happy, but just because you are unhappy with the ending does not mean it's a bad ending. They made you feel something, and that's the point. Like,
well, yeah, and also, how often do we get sent home unhappy, you know?
Right.
Like obviously heels win, but like this was like an insult to injury. So, you know, again, I think a lot about, again, the Taker streak, or like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of another example, but we've had moments where like, and it's few and far between, and I think this was a good one. I think, again, everyone just expected it to be a higher note, but you're not going to get that high note if he's the champion and he's going to lose to a like superior heel that is just bent on destruction.
Exactly. And the other thing too is like, you know, like, it's Mox, you know? Like,
right.
Like,
yeah, like we know what we're getting ourselves into.
He's the most credible person to do this. Like, so
yeah.
Crazy ending, crazy finish. When we were watching it too, you specifically said like, "Oh my god, it's so quiet," you know, because like you said, it felt like the air got sucked out of the building. Like, we were watching and we were just like, "Holy shit!" Like, no one is talking.
And like, again, this is one of those things where if I run into the very, very rare situation where someone is gonna die on the hill of like wrestling being fake, like this is the perfect example of like, you can have an arena full of like almost 10,000 people all just like genuinely upset and concerned, even though they know it's a work.
Right.
You know? Like, just because of the way they're portraying it.
Yeah. Like, they made 8,000 people say,
silent.
Just be completely quiet. And they're just nothing, you know? They're all staring. There was not a single person in that crowd that was like, "Woo! He killed him!"
Yeah, right.
Woo! Like, every single person there. And it was his hometown crowd. You made every single person in that arena feel sad. And, like, thousands more watching at home, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So.
It's true, dude. I want to point out, too, that even Nigel was like, holy shit, they're massacring my boy.
Yeah.
He was like, he was very, you could tell there was some concern with him too, you know? That's how like, how much they're selling this.
Yeah, he said during the media scrum too, which is a whole other beast in itself. That was an interesting media scrum.
Yeah, it was ass.
Yeah. But Nigel during the media scrum was like, I've been waiting for this moment for years, and like it doesn't feel right. He's like, I feel bad about this. So
Yeah.
it just goes to show like how brutal this new BCC is, and like they're crazy, dude. Like, this is what we need in AEW. This is story right here, and this is good shit.
Yeah. And that's your new world champion. Also, the second they won the belt, they threw it in the duffel bag.
Yeah.
And that just kind of goes to show you that it's not about the championship. It is very much, it was just about getting rid of Danielson, and we still don't really know why,
Exactly.
Because again, Moxley's just like, I gotta do this.
Yeah. He's like, you guys don't understand.
I'll be interested to see if they... I think it would be a really nice touch if, like, he comes out on Dynamite and he's not holding the championship, not even the duffel bag.
Oh, I don't think he's going to be. I think he's just going to come out.
I think that would be, like, a really nice...
Maybe he makes, like, Claudio hold the bag or something, or, like,
Yeah, I don't really know. I'd say, like, if it were me, I'd just don't even bring it out.
Yeah.
It's just like, let's forget about the world championship. Let's almost, like, have it, like, kayfabe lose its prestige,
Yeah, that's
like,
a great idea.
Lose its prestige and lose its meaning because Jon Moxley just, like, has disrespected it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was one hell of a main event, and we got, I think, I remember too, the whole time we were like, and Bobby Lashley comes out, and all right, who's coming out? All right, and we're just waiting for something to happen, and nothing was happening, and I think that was, again, just like the icing on the cake.
Well, because that's what you expect, like,
last year's our brains are trained in wrestling.
Exactly, yeah, like last year's WrestleDream, Sting and Darby were getting their shit kicked in. Edge comes out. Adam Copeland, sorry.
They should just give him Edge, dude. They
really should
use the name.
It's a constant that happens in wrestling, and this time we did not get that, and he just got fucking destroyed. So,
yep,
that was good stuff. Let's hop over to some of the other matches, unless you have anything else to say.
No, I think we've talked plenty on this one.
All right. So the pre-show 0 Hour, I don't really have too many thoughts. We had Atlantis Jr. versus Brian Cage. Brian Cage went over. He's the new ROH television champion. It was a good match, but 0 Hour, whatever.
Yeah.
MXM versus The Acclaimed. The Acclaimed went over. Max Caster's rap was abysmal. This is not a great one.
I didn't even see it.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I'll go watch it. Yeah.
Harley
I feel like
Cameron,
they've just been on the decline.
Yeah. Honestly, the best match I thought of 0 Hour was Harley Cameron versus Anna Jay. I thought this was a really, really fun match, and I think it's good to see like how much they've both improved in their time. The build to this match was a little iffy, but sorry, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, I was just gonna say they're putting a lot of stock in Anna Jay right now.
Yeah, they are.
So which is cool because she went over to Japan. I think she spent some time there in Stardom.
Yeah.
And now she's kind of back, and Loki is like a better wrestler because of it.
Right. Yeah.
So.
But yeah, really good performance from both of them. A lot of people are hating on, and I sent you a video of it, and I knew it was gonna be a problem. Fucking the ref pushed down Harley Cameron's shoulder to make it a pin, and it's like, whatever, man.
Yeah, I think no matter what way you did it, if he didn't do that, people would have been mad. He did do it, and people were mad. I think, I would say, pushing the shoulder down, I think it would have come across a little better if maybe he was like, her shoulder's not down, and then she pushes her shoulder down, and then at that point, she's been down for like 3-4 seconds at this point and still gets the pin. Like, that makes Anna Jay look good, you know? So, it was an interesting way.
Interesting
but, like,
choice there, but it is what it is.
It is what it is, man.
Yeah. Wacky. We've seen plenty of wacky choices by refs. So.
Yep.
Yeah, and then MXM versus the Acclaimed was whatever. It was fine. Oh, and then I forgot this one too. We had the Conglomerate Runners versus the Premier Athletes in the Dark Order. The Premier Order,
yes.
if you will. Again, okay match.
The All-Star 10-man tag.
Yeah, pretty
Or
much.
whatever.
Yeah. We opened the show with Jay White versus Hangman, and this was fucking incredible.
This was a banger, dude.
Yeah.
Just like classic AEW good wrestling match with two guys that, like, I don't think have wrestled before. Maybe. I don't know.
Not? I don't know.
I don't know, but, like, you don't see them. And also, I just think there's, like, something new in the air because it seems, Jay White's back in his little switchblade gimmick.
Yeah.
And he's coming out to his music. And this is the Jay White that I've been wanting to see. I loved Bang Bang Gang, but I feel like it kept Jay White at kind of that mid-card level.
Yeah.
When, before he showed up in AEW, everyone was like, Jay White is like top of the food chain in New Japan. And so when he came in and got signed, and like the way they were pushing him just did not feel like he was where I think people wanted him to be. And it wasn't bad. It was just like, now it feels like, oh shit, this is like a world champion.
Yeah.
And he proved it too by beating Hangman, which I could have seen it going either way. I could have seen, like, maybe they wanted to give Hangman like another win, but also like giving him another loss would just make him go crazier, which I think is what they're going for, is him just continuing to just lose.
Go insane, yeah.
Yeah, so, but this was a fire match, dude, and it ended quickly, just like the main event, too.
Yeah.
And it was like very out of nowhere finish.
It was a very, very good finish. Like, Jay White countered a buckshot lariat, and he turned it into the Blade Runner, which was fucking insane. Yeah. It was like such a cool counter, and it just ended, and people were surprised, and it was just a really good match from start to finish. I thought it was really great. Great
match to open the show.
Yeah, let's see. Then we had Mariah May versus Willow Nightingale. Again, another great match. Kind of the same performance we've been seeing from them. Like, very good. This is why they're at the top of the card. This is why Mariah is the Women's World champion. And, Willow's great. So Mariah won with the Storm Zero. And it, I like this run from Mariah so far. I'm just hoping we get another, like, because her rivalry with Tony was so good, and her feud and the story with that.
People are waiting for another, like, credible feud, and I don't think this is it. This is just a good little one-off.
Yeah.
I think what a lot of people are expecting, though, is for Tony to come back, because, again, she has been wrestling. She's been in Japan.
She has been, yeah.
She's been active, just not on AEW television. So I think we might get Toni Storm coming back, and then we kind of get a definitive, like, answer on, like, who wins this feud, maybe, or like a 2 out of 3 kind of thing.
Yeah, that could be a good point.
I don't think Tony's just gonna come back and not interact with Mariah, especially too, while she's like tagging with Mina in Japan too.
Yeah,
which is a point of contention for Mariah, obviously. So it's interesting to see where she's gonna be with that. Is she defending against Queen Aminata, or is that Mercedes?
That's Mercedes
on Wednesday
on Dynamite. Yeah, okay. Mercedes is.
Nothing really yet new for Mariah, but
yeah. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
It was a good match.
Yeah, it was a great match. We got more infatuation from Nigel, of course, as you do. And there was a really, really funny moment on commentary where Tony Schiavone was like, those are your lip prints on her tights. That's disgusting. And he's like, no. It's the funniest
Nigel
shit.
canoodling around.
I guess so.
What a stud.
Yeah, absolute stud. But yeah, those are great. I just want to see. I want to see Mariah in another good feud soon here.
Agreed.
Because the one-offs, it only gets, you can only go so far with
It
one-offs.
gets repetitive.
Yeah. We had Jack Perry versus Shibata. Really good match.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
This surprised me. I was kind of going into it like, okay, whatever. But this was just very solid, like, Jack Perry, pay your dues. Take some chops to the chest, pal. Let's fucking...
Yeah.
I always get worried about Shibata wrestling, though. I'm like, this guy, like, almost died. Why is he here? Why is he wrestling again?
He's still going, though.
Yeah, ending was a little interesting. Not quite an ending I can get behind. Basically, Shibata put the sleeper hold on Jack Perry, fell down to the mat, and both of his shoulders were down. So fucking Rick Knox counts him 1, 2, 3, and Jack Perry retains. An interesting way for the match to end, but not the way I would have liked it to end. But
yeah. It was a little iffy.
It was a little iffy, but afterwards, what happened afterwards, Mufussy? I can't remember.
Daniel Garcia came out after Jack Perry started attacking Shibata some more. Yep. Daniel Garcia came out, which then led to MJF coming out.
Big pop for Max.
Big pop for Max. He comes out.
He was
and
busy filming Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah, big Adam Sandler fan he is.
Yeah, I love the Sandman.
The Sandman. So MJF comes back, and him and Daniel Garcia, of course, had a little standoff. They're looking at each other in the ring, and then Jack Perry hits Daniel Garcia with his title, and then just leaves. And MJF is like, oh, okay. And then he started attacking Daniel Garcia. And then Adam Cole came back.
You called it, too. You were
I did.
Watch, Adam Cole's going to come out. And then he did.
Yeah.
And he's walking okay. He's healthy.
He looks good.
He looks good. He's healthy. And he, God, he did the entrance. He did the boom. He did fucking... I missed it, man. This made me this brought the feeling back for me. Just because I don't care that it's been over a year, dude. There's unfinished business.
Yeah. It is a little weird. We got the, Double or Nothing? He came back?
Yeah, that was weird, and I think that was just for, MJF to come back and...
Yeah.
But I don't know, a lot of people are very picky about this because of the whole devil thing. And I'm just kind of like, you know what? I'm okay. There are plenty of times in wrestling where we've observed that something did not get over with the fans, or something just was received so poorly that we just we can acknowledge it, but we can move on from it. And I think this is a great example of that. He should stay, ignore the whole devil thing. You move on from it. Stay separate from the kingdom. Don't join them, because we saw how that went.
Yeah.
And they're established now in my head. It's Roddy and Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, and that's okay. They're their own thing. Adam Cole needs to stay solo here and just fight MJF, and that's a great. And I think again, I don't care that the devil thing happened. I'm over it, and we can. I can happily say that we can move on from it.
Yeah, we can take a nice little reset here and visit the feud again.
Exactly, that's what it is. It's a reset, and this is gonna. I think it's gonna be good, and it's just gonna be refreshing to see Adam Cole wrestle again, and him and MJF have had good matches and good chemistry. And and again, I think when MJF came back, we had a few feuds here and there. His feud with Ospreay was good, but like this is like the missing piece. That this is the people wanted to see this this story finish the story, you know?
Yeah, finish the story. Oh man.
So,
yeah, I'm excited to see what we get here. Hopefully it builds to something nice, and knock on wood, hopefully no one gets injured.
right. I know Adam Cole like hopped down from the apron and like he like took a second there and like took a step, and I was like, oh my god, is he already like
oh god, he already broke it.
I know, yeah. But
Will Ospreay, Ricochet, and Takeshita.
my goodness. Match of the night.
My one note for this match is international match made me hard.
Wow. And interesting that you felt compelled to write that.
Yeah.
Go off, bestie.
It was so good.
This was a
AEW
banger,
flippy
dude.
no sell bullshit.
This is I don't care who you are. This was just like entertainment.
It was so good.
It was entertainment. It was so entertaining. That's their job, is to entertain, and I think they did that. And even if you don't like this type of wrestling, to say it's not entertaining is like insane, because these guys were, you know, doing more than I could ever do, doing more than you could ever do, like just very, very consistent and very constant, and just something was always happening, and the crowd was on their every move at their fingertips.
I think
and that
it's interesting because I feel like, you know, when Hologram had his match against Beast Mortos, which we'll talk about in a little bit, that didn't do it for me. And I think the difference is with lucha style, sometimes things don't feel impactful to me. But then with these, when they do their flips and shit and then hit a move, it's like, oh shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's an impact behind it, and it looks brutal, like with a lot of the flippy shit that they do. So I think that's my main thing there with like the difference between their style and like lucha is lucha just feels like they're just going, and it feels kind of not empty to me, but it feels like more free flowing and like bleh. But then when something happens in this, it's like bam.
Yeah, it's just harder hitting. I mean, you saw Takeshita take off his elbow pads and just lay in those elbows and those forearms to both of them.
Yeah.
And they just were vicious. They were just like disgusting. I was screaming at the TV, and it was just fun, man. And then, you know, we knew going into it was going to be a good match.
Yeah.
You know, and Don Callis came in, pulled the ref out of the ring, had the screwdriver ready to hit Ospreay. And then Ospreay gets attacked by a guy wearing a hoodie, and it's Kyle Fletcher.
Kyle Fletcher hits him with the screwdriver, bro.
It was rough, and that was like, again, definitive moment. Kyle Fletcher is big heel baby. So, and again, like I kind of said, like we weren't sure where he was leaning. So if he was leaning towards turning on Ospreay, now this is like a good excuse for them to have some matches together, which will be awesome.
And right after he hit him with the screwdriver, then that's when Takeshita comes in, hits him with the running knee, gets the pin, and then Fletcher takes it a step further and hits Ospreay with a tiger driver.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, he's big heel. He's officially with Don Callis.
Dude, push this guy to the moon. Push Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah, Kyle Fletcher's great, dude. I would love to see him like get up there.
He like got so shredded. Look at a picture of him from All In when him and Mark Davis faced Better Than You, Baby.
Yeah.
For the Ring of Honor championships, like Kyle Fletcher was scrawny and he just fucking leaned up, beefed up. He is scary, and he got tattoos too. He like, and also I don't know. I never realized this. He's really fucking tall. He's like as tall as Takeshita, maybe even taller, and like probably like 6'2", 6'3". Disgusting. But this was match of the night for me.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. It was so solid, and we were just watching in awe. We're like, holy fuck.
Can I run into Walgreens real quick?
Yeah.
Thanks so
I
much.
guess.
I'm gonna hide my mic because I feel like this looks strange. I have to get toilet paper. We're like down to like one shred of paper.
Oh no.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Do you have a Walgreens for a second there?
Yeah.
And I should ask about a breast cancer donation. 1070.
I heard you click no. You hate cancer victims.
You're all set.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
You too. Fuck you. I was trying so hard. I was trying not to fucking burst out laughing in front of this poor cashier.
All right, our next match, we had Hologram versus Beast Mortos. This didn't do it for me, man.
It was a dynamite match, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was. First of all, it was odd that it was 2 out of 3 falls. It felt just out of place. Felt weird. And it just kind of dragged on. I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. It's kind of, what I said before. It was just whack. Like,
yeah.
Didn't feel impactful.
It didn't feel like, yeah, exactly. It was just kind of it would have made more sense as a pre-show match.
Right, I agree. And we thought it was going to be on the pre-show too. We said that in our predictions.
Just like reading it and reading the, not to diss either of them, but like they're guys that generally you might find on the pre-show.
Yeah, on the lower card. But
yeah, so it's whatever.
It is what it is. We also had in between matches here, we had Swerve come out with Prince Nana, and he was talking, and he's like, "You guys have been wondering where I've been and all this stuff." He's like, "I'm cleared to wrestle. I'm gonna wrestle." And MVP and Shelton Benjamin came out. I was like, "Swerve, you haven't been taking my calls, man. What's up?" And Swerve kind of led us astray, and he started to be like, Nana, you have been letting me down a little bit. You're still selling weed to kids in high school parking lots. And I lost my title and all this stuff. And he's like, but none of the opportunities that I have gotten, I wouldn't have had at all without you, and like all this stuff. He gasses him up a little bit. He's like, "You're family, man, and I don't turn my back on family." And then
It's true.
does a little stare down with Shelton Benjamin. So
yeah, and no Bobby Lashley.
No Bobby Lashley.
But it was confirmed he was there at the event.
Oh, really?
He was backstage. Fucking Observer reported it.
Huh.
Which is very interesting. I thought this would have been cool but I guess we're gonna let that flame burn out a little bit longer.
Yeah. We are getting Shelton Benjamin versus Leo Rush on Wednesday.
Yes, I can't wait to see Shelton Benjamin wrestle, dude.
Yeah.
It's been too long. We gotta talk about Swerve's entrance, dude. That was so killer.
Yeah.
They gave him all the fucking pyro on that show, dude.
They gave him a fuck ton of pyro. His gear was sick. Like, he's,
Yeah, the spotlight, the gear, the pyro, he looked godlike.
He's got that money for a reason, brother.
It was everything.
It was everything.
I say continue this start, treat him like the star he is. Yeah. Even without that championship now, like he deserves it.
Agreed.
And I'm excited to see where it goes.
Oh yeah. Darby Allin versus Brody King. Decent match. You know, Darby took some gnarly bumps, as he does. Brody also took a gnarly bump. They were standing up in the corner, like he was about to suplex him onto the staircase that was out there. And Darby just fucking pushes him. He lands on the staircase, and then Darby coffin drops him on the staircase.
My back hurt watching that.
God, dude. Darby flung himself around. We got a couple little flips in a row. You know, suicide dives outside of the ring, coffin drops, the usual. Darby got a good victory here.
Yes,
And then they shook hands at the end of the match. Nice little friendly competition.
Yeah, it was good. I like it. And I like too just Brody not having the House of Black like involved at all.
Yeah.
I think that was really good.
Yeah, I agree.
It was a solid match, and yeah, that's really all I have to say about that.
Young Bucks versus Private Party. Young Bucks retained, but Private Party looked very, very strong in this match. They looked real good.
They looked fantastic, and but on the other end, the Bucks, I don't think cheated at all to win, which is kind of crazy.
Right.
They won clean, and you know, I think if anything, I think Private Party's going to come back even stronger because it looks like Stokely is scouting some new talent.
Yeah, him and Chris Statlander kind of had a little breakup, and I don't know if you saw it on Twitter, but they did this bit where like Chris Statlander sent an invoice to Stokely for like
for his services.
Oh yeah, over $1 million, and it was like emotional damages, losing a shot at the title, like all this funny shit. And you know, Chris Statlander is born again Chris, I think, and she, you know, separated herself from Stokely, and she's like, I got gaslit, I have all these emotional damages from Stokely. He turned me in the wrong direction, but I am moving in the right direction now. So Stokely needs some new people. I think she was always
in the right direction.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But really, really good here. Like, Private Party looked incredible, and there was a lot of really close finishes, and they looked really strong, which is good. I want this Private Party push because they are fire.
Yeah, and I think they're going to get it. And Isaiah Cassidy took the loss pretty hard. He was, like, really upset, and I honestly thought they were going to do some kind of turn, which is what I didn't want, and I'm glad they didn't. So I think it's time for Stokely to swoop in. It looks like Top Flight might be next challengers for the titles, perhaps, because they were sitting at ringside and they were making a big point out of that. So yeah, we'll see where that goes.
Mark Briscoe versus Jericho.
This was actually like pretty solid. Yeah,
I thought it was
pretty good match.
Surprising from a Jericho match, but I gotta say, Mark Briscoe, dude, he's fucking crazy.
Yep. Yeah, he's wild. There were a lot of points where I even though I thought Jericho was gonna win, I didn't want him to win, but the points where I thought he was gonna win, I really thought he was gonna win because. Like, he used the J Driller on Mark Briscoe, which was nuts.
Yeah, the J Driller moment, I thought was it. I thought Chris Jericho was going to put him out with the J Driller, but he didn't. And Briscoe kicked out of it. He used that moment to power up.
Kicked out at 1.
Yeah. Kicked out at 1, used that moment to power up, and then fucking just went crazy, dude.
Yep. Hit him with his own J Driller and got the W.
Yeah.
I think either way you spin it, like, again, if Jericho did win off the J Driller, obviously, like, you know, it's kind of disrespectful, but, like, if it's agreed upon between the two of them as, like, a story angle, I think it would have worked. But I think the idea that, like, Mark Briscoe can't be defeated with a J Driller is also very cool.
Yeah.
Which also, isn't it just a Tiger Driver 91 or a Tiger Driver of
Yeah,
sorts?
somewhat.
Or is it like a double underhook power bomb? I guess, or a double underhook pile driver. I don't know, man.
Who knows?
Doesn't matter. But
the other cool thing about this match is Mark Briscoe was like super serious, which we don't get a lot from him. He was super serious in the match because of how the build went on Dynamite, and it was really, really cool to see. I thought this was a really good performance by both of them.
Yeah, it was awesome. And yeah, big ups. And I think, is that everything?
Yeah, that is everything. We talked about the main event at the beginning. So, I think AEW is in a good direction right now. I think the BCC angle is really going to help the weekly shows and the storytelling. Their next show is Full Gear. And the other reason why I think they're in a good direction is because that's when we're getting AJ versus QT Marshall at Full Gear. So
Right.
yeah,
That's gonna be
he's gonna bring the boom.
7 stars.
7 stars. Honestly, 10 stars.
They say after every pay-per-view, like in a press conference, Tony Khan's always like, I think this is like a really good. We're entering a new era of All Elite Wrestling. Be sure to tune in this Wednesday at 8/7 Central on TBS. But like this time last year at WrestleDream, Adam Copeland showed up, and they were like, "This is signaling like a new era for AEW." And then every pay-per-view up until then was like the same story, but it never really felt like it's felt pretty stagnant, And I truly think like this time, like for real.
Yeah, for real this time, guys.
Like no, but like actually, it feels like eerie, it feels uncertain, and it feels like I want to tune in and see what happens.
Yeah.
And I haven't felt that way in a while with AEW.
Yeah, though I genuinely think the last time I felt like, oh my god, like, we're heading in like the right direction was probably last year's All In, like the first All In London.
Which unfortunately is when things started to kind of
which is
fall
when
apart.
Things started to fall apart, which is so unfortunate. But we had so many banger matches on that card, and it was their first massive show, and then it went downhill from there. But it was like, ooh, I feel real good about this, and then it got shit on. But genuinely, this time, I think with the stories that are starting and with what's going on in AEW right now, I feel like we are in a good direction.
Yeah, I agree.
And the card for Wednesday looks great, so.
Yep. It's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be very promo heavy, but it's gonna be very fun.
Yeah. Galeer, what do you rate AEW Wrestledream 2024?
I'm gonna give it a 4.67. I've had that number in my head
out of 5
since we started the podcast. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm feeling 4.67.
I'm gonna give it a. I'm gonna say a 4.49. That's what I'm gonna give it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I respect it.
Yeah.
Solid show. One of my favorite AEW pay-per-views this year.
Yeah, I agree.
Hell yeah. Stay tuned for the DTC Intercontinental WrestleDream 2 out of 3 Falls match between me and Mufussy.
Yes.
Even though you already know the winner.
Yeah. It's still fun to watch, though.
GCW Bad Blood. Going to be up on YouTube soon if it's not already.
Yes, go check that out.
Yeah, Mufussy became the president.
I did become the president. It was a very good show all around. Very good card. Very fun matches. Virtual wrestling matches. Join us for the next episode when we talk about my experience at SmackDown. We're going to cover Raw and NXT as well. So
NXT.
Very, very, very epic.
The paparazzi can't stay away from this guy.
No, they can't. I'm famous now, so.
Yeah, he is.
Well, we will be a little late with, we're not recording our usual Friday episode this week. I am flying. I have a wedding to attend.
He's flying to see me.
Yeah, no.
You might as well be seeing me.
I could. You want to be my plus
one? You literally
one?
could. I got shit to do.
What the fuck?
Sorry, man.
Man,
I
what
got
the
important
heck?
shit to do. I got a long drive ahead of me. Wink, nudge.
Wink, nudge, nudge.
A long commute, one might even say.
Ah, drop kick it! Beep,
Beep,
beep.
beep.
Dropkick the commute, shining bright in the night. Join the conversation.